Hey YouTubers, today I wanted to show you my 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited with the Rocky Road Outfitter 2.5-inch level and lift kit. It's 2.5 in the front spacer and it's a 1-inch spacer in the rear. It's a lift and leveling kit, and also a review on my new tires, which are one size bigger. I went with the 265 R18 all-terrain Falken Wildpeak AT3W. Give you a quick look how nice and level it looks now. It made a huge difference. I just had the kit put on about a week and a half ago. I've only ridden about, maybe driven, I don't know, 300 miles with it so far. And from what I've noticed with the larger tires as well, is that there is really not much of a difference in handling whatsoever. It actually is just a little bit stiffer, but that's also because that the tire rating is a 112T load, I believe, which may have a harder sidewall than the OEM Michelin Premiers that it came with. So you're going to have a stiffer ride because of the tires. I can't compare it to the stock ones because when I had the lift done, I had the tires put on at the same time. But anyway, I'm real happy the way it came out. It looks amazing compared to what it was stock. It really boosted up the front end quite a bit. And because the kit now comes with a 1-inch rear spacer kit, it not only levels it out, but it makes it so you don't have that squatting appearance, which I think that some of the earlier kits had a problem with. Well, not really a problem, but some people said with just a 1.75 spacer or the 2.5 spacer in the front without anything in the rear, it looked like the vehicle was squatting. But this really gives it a true nice leveled look, and surprised how much clearance I gained. I easily gained 2.5 inches all around, being that the diameter of the tires are 1 inch larger than OEM tires. It's approximately 2.5 inches all the way around. I didn't do an actual measurement on that, so don't take my word for the exact measurement of how much lift I gained. But anyway, real happy with the results. The tires are freaking amazing. They handle great. Very low road noise. Like I said, they are a little stiffer, but that's to be expected. My second vehicle is a truck, so I'm used to a truck ride anyway. But you know, and now it feels like you're driving something substantial, you know, more truck worthy than driving a soccer mom car. Anyway, just to mention a couple other things. I did go with a matching spare. I bought a 5th tire, same exact tire, the Falken Wildpeak in the 265/65 R18. Here is the back where the spare wheel well goes. And let me just pop that open so you guys can see. Apologize, I'm using a cell phone and I'm one-handed right now, so anyway, as you can see, this is the Falken Wildpeak AT3W in a 265/65 R18 in the wheel well with the jack in the middle, and you do have to remove the bins that come in with it. I had to deflate the tire a little bit down to 30 psi to be able to get the lid to close. But as you see right here, I do carry a compressor. So if I do get a flat tire and have to switch it out, I can just add the air to the proper psi and I should be all good. So anyway, it is a tight fit. The tire will fit in no problem around the sides. You don't have to push down on it or anything. This is a real aggressive tire, so with the raised edge, I think that also contributes to not being able to close the lid without deflating a little bit. If you got a matching spare in a less aggressive tire, it didn't have the raised up sides, that probably would give you a little bit more clearance. When I close it down, excuse me for 1 second while I put the latch back on here. Okay, when you do close it back down, it's going to raise up a little bit. You just have to give it a little bit of a push. Not very hard. Probably about 2 or 3 pounds of pressure for it to click in. And you'll see it's flush all along here. So there's no issues with that. I'm able to run a full-size spare. I do go off-road with some light trails, and I do take it on the beach. So I do have to have a full-size spare that matches. Obviously, with the diameter, you can't run different diameter for a spare tire. It has to be the same exact diameter. Otherwise, you risk running the chance of screwing up your four-wheel drive system. A couple other things I did to the Limited real quick. I added a Kurt tow hitch, which when I'm actually off-roading, I put on a shackle. So just in case I need to be pulled out from the rear, or if I have to help somebody else out, I'll use a recovery strap. A lot more clearance than what was. It's great. Also added the cross rails and some fishing rod holders by Rhino Rex. And I also added some Mopar front tow hooks. Very, very pleased with the way it came out. It's so aggressive looking compared to the stock. Trying to get all the angles in for you so you guys can see the clearances and how it looks, how the tires go. No rubbing issues whatsoever. I played it safe by only going with the 265/65. I could have probably went with the 265/70 or 275/60. Brought it up to a true 32. These tires are 31.5s. But I think they look great, and I obviously don't run the risk of any rubbing whatsoever using this size. They fill up the wheel wells just fine. I'm obviously using the stock rims. I think the stock rims on the 2017 and above look great. In 18, I thought about going aftermarket. I'm going to turn this air compressor off. I was just checking my air tire before. When they put the tires on, they set it at the OEM 36 PSI. So they had them off a little bit. I just adjusted them to make sure they were all even. I actually bumped it up a little bit too. Bumped them all up to 38 and see how that rides. And I like to keep the tires between 38 and 36 around there. I like a little bit of a stiffer ride, more response out of the front end. I know there was a lot of people who had unanswered questions about, will this tire fit and spare well? Hopefully by me showing you that it does fit, even though you have to deflate it depending on how aggressive your tire is. If you have a tire with no raised edges on it, if it's not a all-terrain or an aggressive all-terrain, you may be able to get away with just using 36 psi and putting it in the wheel well. But like I said, I deflated mine down to 30 psi, but I carry an air compressor, so I'm not worried about that. And I will check my spare every month or every couple weeks just to make sure it has not gone further down from that position, because if my air compressor does not work and it's at 30, at least that'll give me plenty of psi to go to a gas station and just get it up to the correct psi without being in any kind of danger of running it off the bead or running flat or anything like that. Once again, hopefully this video will help somebody. This is the 2.5 inch front, 1 inch rear Rocky Road Outfitters lift level kit and Falken Wildpeak 265, 65, R18, the AT3Ws, which are also snow and mud rated. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps somebody out. So far I am loving it. Could not be happier. I have a little over 5,000 miles on the truck right now, and that is it. All right guys, enjoy.